Oh, speaking of the Star Wars, I have listened to some of that podcast that you
Oh
posted.
yeah, specifically the Sith one.
I'm kind of working my way up.
Oh yes, you liked it enough to listen to more.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple episodes and I enjoy it. And then I'll probably be able to catch up with the Sith one next week. Well, yeah, this coming next week because I figure I will have like some more downtime and probably end up doing like some. I haven't really been biking too much over the last like week or two, so um, I'll probably find more time to kind of listen to like a podcast.
I think it strikes like a very good energy between intelligent people actually discussing it and just complete like verbal shit posting.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, it can get a bit lost in the weeds sometimes, but in general, I like them and I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
I think
listening
I
to the
think Natalie
conversation.
Watson is just a genuinely fucking hilarious human being.
Yeah,
And I've preached about Austin Walker's content many a times before.
yeah. Uh, they at one point one of the guys called something. I don't remember exactly. I don't know. I'm not 100 sure what he was referring to, but he called it a testes mech, and I'm just like, all right, I'm sold.
I don't remember that.
It was something like the Attack of the Clones episode, and he's just like, I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and there was some kind of testes mech,
Oh,
and then I
okay.
fell asleep.
That was Rob Zachney describing why he has never watched Revenge of the Sith.
Yes, which is like it is the most understandable thing, like him going over like his experience with Star Wars, and it's just like, yep, I feel you there, man.
Yeah, like he said he like ended up going to the midnight release of it, even though he didn't love Phantom Menace because like his friends were super hyped still or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, that was the idea. Like they cooked out. I think they watched all of the movies leading up to it. They watched like the four Star Wars
Oh my
movies at that
gosh.
point. And so he said, like, look, we ate a bunch of like grilled meat or whatever, and then like we watched the movie, we watched like a bunch of movies, and so I was exhausted. It was a mistake, but like I went and then I fell asleep, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with them that like two is definitely the worst. Like it's just not a good movie.
Did you
I
say
don't
he
like.
woke up to a testes robot? What?
It's just like he woke up. Did you catch like kind of the backstory there?
Uh,
Jordan's
so
listening to the
this
Star Wars
guy,
podcast I recommended.
Yeah.
this guy doesn't like the Star Wars prequels, but he saw them all because his friends liked them, and
No,
then he fell asleep.
he was a big Star Wars guy when the prequels came out.
Oh,
And he watched the first one. Was like, well, it's not great, but like I'm not, I don't hate it or anything. And then so like his friends were all Star Wars people, so they decided to get together and kind of throw a party for the second movie. So
mm.
they grilled out and they watched all four movies leading up to it. And so he was real exhausted going into it, and then he fell
Mm-hmm.
asleep like almost as soon as the movie started. And then like what he was saying
That's
was
it.
like, I fell asleep and then I woke up and there was like some kind of testes mech, and then I fell asleep again, and then there was like some big battle, and I don't know.
What a testes mech?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he's referring to, but the
I,
Like
delivery was
nutsack?
I like when I watched Attack of the Clones because I wanted to have context for this episode. I knew what he was talking about, but now I don't.
yeah. I'm not really sure what he's referring to. It's just the delivery was very good. But he's saying like kind of why he fell off Star Wars and didn't end up watching the third movie, even though he saw the second one at midnight.
Yeah, because Attack of the Clones was, and I think he ended up seeing it like actually afterwards, but it was still just such a disappointment for him. He never watched.
We
Revenge of the
actually,
Sith.
Haley and I watched that one recently. I haven't seen it in years, but like we just wanted to throw something on in the background. We were just like, how about the worst Star Wars movie? And hey, that's the worst Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
It's
Yes, like man, Rise of Skywalker is really bad.
it's
there.
bad, but there are good performances, and the writing isn't like the dialogue writing. While bad, isn't
Yeah,
that level of awful.
that is true. Like, no one involved in Attack of the Clones has ever experienced the human emotion known as love.
yeah.
And like the sheer amount of just the whole thing with the clone army is just shockingly written.
Yeah, it's just kind of it's just a
Like,
mess.
the fact that, okay, so I feel like a lot of people think that Dooku ordered the clone army, but he super didn't, because in Attack of the Clones they explicitly give the name of another Jedi having ordered it.
That was
think
Dooku, though. That Jedi was Dooku.
I think I was also under the impression that Sifo Dyas was Dooku, but I think the current canon is that Sifo Dyas is a separate
Yeah,
person.
I think Sifo
Really?
Dyas is a separate person.
Yes, and I think that's the
Didn't
thing.
they say
Is like
in the film that like it was Dooku?
They
Or
No,
something?
they literally
Sifo Dyas-
only
like they acknowledge that Sifo Dyas was like I can't remember the exact details, but I'm pretty sure they like kind of more or less just say like the way that people respond to Sifo Dyas is that that's just a different guy. Like Dooku is a well-known person in
Really?
the Jedi Order, but then there's also this other guy named Sifo Dyas who is also a well-known person in the Jedi Order.
and he's just
And
gone.
for
He
some
just
reason-
disappeared. He ordered this clone army and then just fucking zonked out.
Yeah,
So why for this whole time? Because obviously, Jordan, you said you were under the impression that it was Dooku. Why was I also under that impression?
Because that would make
because-
any fucking sense.
because the movie is so bad at presenting information that it seems like they're the same person, even if like when you kind
Oh.
of dig into it, like no, the movie does acknowledge that these are different people in its own
Right, 'cause-
stunted way.
Because does he go looking for Sifo Dyas and finds Dooku instead? Is that why?
No, he goes to look for the person who killed Zamwazel, who was trying to kill Padme, and finds the Dart. And the Dart is like he goes to his buddy Dexter Jester, who's the best character in the prequels.
God.
And I watched that scene just because like I wanted to see it again. And Dexter Jester is just an extremely charming piece of bad CGI,
Yeah.
which is
I-
too
I-
bad because like there's like a lot of like warmth in that scene that you don't get in the rest of the movie. It feels like two human beings. Well, a human and this weird alien dude interacting in like a legitimate way that feels like human interaction.
Well, I like the Dexter's Diner portion because of Lego Star Wars. Because
Yeah.
the first one was set in Dexter's Diner, and I have like massive nostalgia for that location
Yes.
because of it.
Well, and like I'm gonna go off a bit of a tangent here, but Dexter is like a well-designed, kind of fun-looking character who's just also like just seems like a cool dude to like hang around with. He's just like some like fucking like Frycook who apparently was like prospecting in like the deep outer rim for like years. It's like, you just wanna, like,
I
have a
do
beer
not
with that
have
guy,
this
like-
energy that you two have, and I kind of wish I did.
This what?
This like appreciation for Dexter Jester. Like,
I don't know, man. Like
I mean, I
just
heard
kind
that
of
you
grasp for
went
anything
up,
about
I
that
just
movie.
like the location.
Anyway,
Um,
but yeah,
no,
so
but
he.
When he gets captured by Dooku, though, he's on Geonosis. I literally just watched the movie, and I was paying so little attention that I
All
don't
right, you-
remember.
So he like talks to Jester and he's just like, oh, this is from the Kaminoans, cloners or whatever. And then so he's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess I gotta find Kamino. And then so he goes to the Jedi temple and it's just like, Kamino's not on the charts. And it's just like, if it's not on
Right.
the charts, then it doesn't exist because we're stupid.
And then he
Uh,
heads there, and then he finds the
gets attacked.
clone army, and then Jango Fett ambushed.
Attacks
Well,
him.
not really. He just kind of tries to get away from the Jedi, the spooky Jedi.
Yeah.
And then he's running from Jango when he stumbles onto Geonosis, or
He's following Jango.
following Jango.
because
that's
he
right,
he
okay.
hides in the asteroid field and does a switcheroo on him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then he falls to there and then is captured pretty much immediately off screen.
Also, something I noticed specifically about episode 2 while watching it is that it seems like a sound designer's wet dream. Like, there are so many weird, like, sci-fi sounds in that, like, more so than any other Star Wars movie, it sounded like to me. Like, the shapeshifter's speeder at the beginning sounds like for some reason, and like the giant bombs that Jango sets off in the asteroid field are like,
the sonic bombs that work in space for some reason.
yeah,
Those
I mean, I think-
those are in the Rogue Squadron 3 on the GameCube, and they're cool as shit there too.
Look, they're
Yeah,
cool.
I
Like
mean,
you
it's
said,
just
like I'm
all
glad you
really
said
cool
there
stuff.
too because they are extremely cool in the movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I love them, but it's also just like they just have to like invent some like absurd reason for why these like sound bombs work in space.
And it's just
Yeah.
because they're cool enough. Like, that's good Star Wars. That's just who
Oh.
gives a shit. This is cool.
It's fine to
Yeah.
me. It's fine. I have no problems with it.
There are already explosions when TIE fighters explode. Whatever.
Yeah,
and the Death Star.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so like
And then all the weird monsters in the arena scene as well have just totally bonkers sounds coming from them.
It sounds that working on Star Wars is like working like for like ILM was probably like a sound designer's wet dream.
Oh sure.
Yeah,
Like I think that you just pretty much like had just kind of had a ton of like freedom to just kind of do whatever you wanted with it.
But
and it's that kind of stuff that I still appreciate about the movies.
Yeah, like I don't know, Star Wars. She was just like it was just a strange movie where like it wasn't the technology wasn't quite there to pull off what they wanted.
Definitely.
And so a lot of the CGI looks really bad, whereas like in episode 3, the CGI looks really good.
Right, it's like a market improvement.
Yeah, it was like this middle ground where like because the effects in, as I remember, the effects in 1 also looked pretty good because they didn't overly rely on CGI.
Well, yeah, because the droids were actually like props, like in that one.
Yeah,
at least for the
guys,
most part.
I hate to break it to you, there's a lot of bad fucking CGI in that movie too.
Well, I mean,
All
there's
right.
Jar Jar for one.
All right.
But like, there are just entire scenes that are just Gunkins, and so many of them, and it's
This is true.
Yeah, fair enough. Like I said, I haven't watched these movies in a while. I could be talking out of my ass a little bit.
Well, it does feel like with the films, like outside of it sounds. Sorry, let me back up. It seems like the technology was there to do big battle sequences. You know, you had seen it in Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. And so it seems like George Lucas was like, well, these are going to be big war movies, so I'm going to do what I can to utilize that new technology of making giant battle sequences and stuff. But the reason it worked so great in Lord of the Rings is because you have a giant, completely uniform looking army like the orcs or the elves, who like they look they're just the same character model.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I guess we gotta be careful here.
They're just the same character model, you know, over and over again with like different movement variations and stuff. So it really seems to me like George Lucas is like, how can I have a giant army that all looks the same fighting another giant army that all looks the same so I can utilize this technology? Because that's like what they could do at the time. That's like what Attack of the Clones feels like at a certain point.
Probably not unreasonable.
How did I get hit by that? I'm the only one here.
No,
I was.
I've been here this whole
Okay, you're
time.
here now. Thank you. Even when Jordan died?
Yes.
Oh. You're
So
so
I got
far
hit
away.
right after and was like, I need to quietly heal.
Huh. Why is he there?
I don't know. Yeah, but so then Ewan McGregor shows up on Geonosis, gets immediately captured, and then like they just like fast forward to when the three of them are in the arena, and then they're like, "Good news, we have a clone army. We're not going to address this at all."
That's the best part of the movie.
Unfortunately, you forgot the part where C-3PO is caught in like a blender for 40 minutes.
God. And fucking R2-D2's fucking flight adventures through hell.
Yeah.
It's a testament to how bad those movies are that I don't like R2-D2 because of the prequels.
Yeah. Is that what you were going to talk about, Jordan, or something else?
Like, I just think it's funny because like Chris has totally skipped by the entire droid factory scene that everyone
Right.
agrees sucks.
Well, yeah, it was just I was just talking more through the timeline of the clone situation and Obi-Wan.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. So that's about how it goes.
And like, and they just, the Jedi just get the clones, like, because Obi-Wan sent him an email or whatever, and they're like, oh, bitchin', and then like Yoda's like, ground cover, go give them, or whatever. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I
Them cover fire, you not agents of the Senate who are not supposed to be participating in open warfare.
We are never going to question this, and I can never tell because of how the movies shoot every interaction between Jedis and clones. I can never tell if we're supposed to think the clone army is an indictment of the Jedi hypocrisy, or if we're just supposed to go, "Wow, cool fights."
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to think. is the main
Exactly.
problem.
well, you're supposed to think. It's just no one. It's just all like bad.
And like, if you do think of it, you could absolutely make arguments about this being Jedi hubris and like their involvement in political theater to this degree is why the Old Republic failed. But then like the rest of the movie and all of the sequel movies is just like, nah, Jedi are cool guys though.
Yeah.
Wow, Chris, you made a calculated decision there.
Yeah, definitely made a
I just
calculated
saw
decision.
you not moving.
I had to get those rapid fires off, Tim. They're not
Who
rapid fires,
joined?
they're just pure.
Is it an Owen or is it a Duncan?
Owen.
It's a me. You guys were deep in conversation, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Do you have thoughts on Star Wars?
You've never seen it.
It was cool until later.
Yeah, actually,
Vague, but the general agreed upon.
Yeah.
the thing with Owen and I, Owen especially in Star Wars, they always came out around his birthday. The prequels did, so it was like the thing to do for Owen's birthday. And I remember Dad has this story when they went to see Episode 2, and this guy like turned to Dad after the movie, and he was like, "Wasn't that fucking awesome?" And he like went to high five him. My dad was like, "Sure."
And your dad looks the way your dad does.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like I am currently here with 3 12-year-old boys.
And yes, I did think the movie was completely awful, but I guess I will high five you, young man.
Mhm.
It was like an older guy, right? Like a 30-year-old guy or something.
Yeah, someone who had like no. I mean, not to indict anybody, but no one who had
Yeah.
no one who had any reason to be that excited about Attack of the Clones.
A non-discerning fan of Star Wars, which honestly, at this point, I respect.
Yeah. Well, unless they're like the fuck. There's a non-discerning fan of Star Wars that's actually non-discerning, and then there's the kind that says they're non-discerning but are like so anti Last Jedi because like it has a woman in it.
That is not a non-discerning fan.
No, but they say they're non-discerning.
Respect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
See, there's.
there's sleeper
I
cell.
think Owen's friend Mino is the most non-discerning Star Wars fan I've ever met.
Yes.
Next to maybe Duncan, because Duncan just
Duncan.
like.
That's because
Like
Duncan doesn't have
lightsabers.
hard opinions.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Duncan's up there too. And does Duncan dislike any movies though?
No.
He does, I think.
Oh well, he's not he's not fond of Interstellar.
This is true. He does hate Interstellar.
And
He
like
did call it 2 hours of the best sci-fi movie he's
Yep.
ever. Great. Oh well. He did call it 2 hours of the best sci-fi movie he's ever seen, followed by the worst movie he's ever seen. 1 hour of the worst movie he's ever seen.
You know, that's a fair assessment of it. I feel.
Sorry guys.
You know what? No, this is okay, Jordan. I think we can make Chris the set.
no, because I still need the fucking gem.
Well, we still need to fight it,
Oh, true.
so you get more chances.
I get more chances.
Yeah, Jordan, I was just talking to Chris about how I played this exact hunt a lot the other night because we failed it 3 times with
Right.
me and my friends. Oh no, what am I out of? Regular potions. Wow.
Whoa.
Yep, I had that one a couple days ago.
Huh.
Posted it. I don't know. I just need to kind of get my head screwed on here.
Yeah, Mizutsune is hard. That is something that needs to be remembered. In this one, at least.
Anyway, love Star Wars. I haven't loved Star Wars in like
Yeah.
3 years.
Yeah, I know. Neither have I. That's why when I went to see The Last Jedi, like I kind of tempered my expectations to be a non-discerning Star Wars fan when I saw it. And so when I saw it in the theater, I was like, well, I hate like 50% of what happened in this movie, but I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah. I'm going to shift rooms.
I actually love The Last Jedi, and it reignited some of my passion for Star Wars, and then that didn't last long.
It didn't last long.
See, that's just the thing.
Mhm.
Well, and I have a weird relationship with Last Jedi too, because like I saw that one in theaters and I honestly didn't enjoy it as much. I liked
We saw that one in theaters together, right?
Oh, okay. No, I actually saw that in theaters with
Yeah.
UNCSA friends.
Yep. I watched it with my brother. I don't know
Oh.
where you saw it, Chris. Maybe with your family or something.
Last Jedi? Last Jedi came out the summer
Are you
after.
guys talking about Rise of Skywalker?
No, Last Jedi.
I swear
Yeah,
we saw Last Jedi together. That came out
Nope.
before Tim went to North Carolina.
It came out in December.
Came out
with all the
December
Star Wars movies.
2017,
That was
not
Oh,
December
that's right.
2016.
Hold on, I'll be right back, guys.
2017 was Force Awakens. I'm pretty sure Last Jedi came out in 2018.
Yeah. Winter 2018.
Mm-hmm.
December 2017.
December 2017?
December 2017.
Oh, we didn't watch it together.
Really? Last Jedi?
Last Jedi is December 2017.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. We did not watch it together. I will say that.
So we went to see Force Awakens together then.
Yes, we definitely saw Force Awakens together.
Okay.
My temporal displacement is heavy right now. I could have sworn that came out in 2018.
I mean,
But
you're
I
a
am
month
completely
away.
wrong because I'm sure you just looked at it.
Yeah, you're a month off.
I
Okay.
wasn't sure on the year. I just knew that we hadn't watched it together, so my assumption was that we weren't living together. But actually, we were. We just didn't watch it together. I think it was our senior year, and everyone was just really busy.
All right, well, if Tim's gone, I'm gonna go grab a drink for whenever I get alcohol. The feeling of alcohol.
Yes.
Oh, my fucking knees.
So what was the discourse I missed? So did Chris
really.
learn what time was? Because The Last Jedi definitely came out December, my first year of grad school.
Yeah.
Hey,
I was mistaken and thought it was 2018, but it was December of 2017,
Right,
which would
yeah.
line up with you.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. We weren't living together in 2017.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Who was?
Nobody.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry. December of 2017.
Yeah, I
You would
could
have graduated in 2017.
Yeah, so Tim
This is
would have
true,
been
yeah.
in UNCSA, confirmed.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
And you were in
All right.
Chicago.
Yeah.
All right.
I was
Glad we have that.
conflating that memory with the fact that we did see Force Awakens in
saw
theaters
Force
together at some
Awakens.
point.
Right, which seems like 800 years ago, and
Yeah.
Last Jedi seems like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
For some-
Force Awakens was the last non-anime movie I saw in a theater.
Holy shit!
Just
In
period?
general?
In general, that's literally
Oh,
the only
God.
time I've been to a theater is to go watch an anime movie. Since then,
I mean, that's a
Huh.
valid. That's valid. You're
Yeah.
valid.
I've
Except-
done more of that.
You did miss the best anime and live action film ever made. That swept the Oscars this year.
Boss Baby.
No, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, of course.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You know how
That
they
was
just
the-
won every major award because it was the only movie that came out?
Yeah, they were like,
that was
best
that's
supporting
the real
actor.
Oscars in my heart.
I love Daniel Kaluuya in Sonic. He was really great. As,
Honestly, like if they gave Ben Schwartz Best Actor just as a joke, I'd be fucking down.
Oh yeah. I'd be down. I love Ben Schwartz.
best music, Henry Jackman, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Best supporting actor, the Cyclops
Marsden,
from
that's the
Sonic
guy's name.
Hedgehog
Best supporting actor is Jim Carrey's mustache.
No, Jim Carrey is best supporting actor, and his mustache is best actor.
His mustache is
supporting the
actually
mustache.
best special effects.
Much better than Superman's non-mustache.
Yeah, the Spanish dub of the Sonic movie got voted the best foreign film.
Foreign language film. No, wasn't there a big kerfuffle because an American-made film that was all spoken in, I think, Japanese, was like put in the foreign film category? even though it was
I
made
remember
by
this scuttlebutt.
Americans. Like, Jesus Christ, guys!
Yeah.
Just because it's got subtitles doesn't mean it's foreign.
Yeah. They're just like,
Maybe
hey,
the Oscars
Parasite,
suck.
Parasite was a big hit and it had subtitles, so let's just do that.
Yeah, that was one of those Japanese movies. This is just another one of those. So
Which, can I say, that is a fantastic film.
has everyone seen it here?
Yeah, I
No.
saw it in theaters because,
Okay, Jordan.
unlike Owen, I apparently see movies in theaters.
I see movies in theaters, they just don't have real people in them.
They are we gonna go on the hunt?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back. I just can't find my.
You're good. Yeah, so I guess no spoilers on Parasite, but it's
Yeah, I won't say anything.
that movie. I think maybe the way it was advertised, I knew there was going to be a big twist, and I think everyone knew there was going to be a big twist, but it definitely wasn't the twist I was expecting, which
Yeah.
I guess is a good thing. But also, I don't know if I wanted
Like
the twist,
twist.
I expected. Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
might have wanted the twist I expected.
Mm-hmm.
I mostly like expect like it's like the most tense movie I've ever watched, like the entire way
Yes.
through. But like it was described to me as like almost a thriller horror situation. So I was like waiting
Yeah.
for a shoe to drop the entire time. That didn't.
This
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. I definitely thought, which I guess to an extent sort of happens, but no spoilers,
Yeah.
I guess.
But it's more
That
of like an American Beauty kind of thing rather than like a straight up horror movie.
I thought what was going to happen generally was that there was going to be something that pitted both families against a unified threat, like something they both had to like unite over in like a very awkward way. But that absolutely did not happen.
No.
No.
It couldn't have happened less, in fact.
Yeah. The result couldn't have been more opposite of what you were expecting.
There was like no redemption for literally any character who existed
No.
in the movie.
No, because they all played the game.
Yeah.
And then they like kind of end it with like a Kyo Annie, like, haha, this is the real ending, just kidding.
Yes,
Is that-
they do.
Mm-hmm.
I remember thinking that ending felt tacked on.
After
I
the
think-
event.
After the event, and the kid is like writing a letter or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh,
And they frame it like it's actually happening, but then it's like, just kidding. It's
is he
meant-
what, in a mental institution or something? Okay.
No.
I mean, that's an overplayed trope at this point, obviously.
Yeah. Thanks, F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
And then it zooms out and it reveals that he's actually just an actor in an M. Night Shyamalan film.
Yeah.
Wait, which one did F. Scott Fitzgerald have a psychiatric ward thing going on with?
Great Gatsby.
Benjamin Button.
What?
Great Gatsby? When does that happen in Great Gatsby?
It doesn't happen
It's
in Great
literally-
Gatsby.
It's the beginning of the book. Nick is like the main character who narrates the whole thing is in like therapy.
He's in therapy,
Oh.
but he's not like in a psych ward.
I mean, kind of. Well,
But I
to be
suppose
fair,
that could.
how the Baz Luhrmann movie frames it, he's like, oh, it scarred him, so now he's in a psychiatric ward.
I don't
Oh.
remember a psychiatric ward being a thing at all.
I saw the Baz Luhrmann one in theaters. For
I
some
haven't seen the
reason.
Baz Luhrmann.
That's fine.
Definitely did not.
Yeah.
I went like it was
Go.
like a school related thing. We wanted to hang out with our cool English teacher, and he's like,
Yeah.
extra credit to people who go to this movie with me.
And you're like, I mean, your life is neither better nor worse for having not watched that film.
Oh, well,
So,
we came all the way up here for naught.
Ain't got so far.
that was in the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
1920s New York.
I could see how that could have started a trend though, because obviously then you have fucking Catcher in the Rye, and
Mhm.
I mean, I guess One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest doesn't really count because the entire thing is in a psychiatric.
Yeah,
ward.
that one from the beginning is in a psych ward, or well, you know, an institution.
The book is in fact about a psych ward.
Yes.
Right.
I will forever be sad that they don't, in the Jack Nicholson movie, that they didn't add in the super way too long chapter of Chief having,
LSD.
yeah, like a major LSD trip.
Yeah, I think I just like I literally skipped that chapter because I didn't feel like reading it
Yeah,
in
and
school.
you missed nothing.
You guys had to read
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest for school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't.
Huh.
Interesting.
hmm
What was I going to say? Yeah, and I remember we watched the movie then, I think, and I was actually kind of like the movie is considered like an all-time classic, and I
Yeah.
think what's his face Jack Nicholson won the Academy Award for it.
He did.
But I definitely, you know, I'm not someone who typically has read a book and then sees the movie, and
Yeah.
there were definitely changes that I was like,
Yeah.
like at the end of the book, I think doesn't Chief throw like a giant ass thing through the window and escape?
Yeah. He literally pulls like a water fountain or like a
Like
burner,
in
like a
the
water
movie-
heater, I think, or something like
that's
that.
what's upsetting is in the movie it's literally just a water
Yeah.
fountain, and he
Yeah,
throws
and
it
he
through a
just,
window, and it's like very like anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But in the book, it was supposed to be some giant like boiler or something, like
yeah, it's like something that in
something that's like inhumanly like
yeah.
not possible to pick up or whatever. And so when in the movie he just like rips a water fountain out of the wall and throws it out the window, I'm like, okay,
I mean,
Yeah.
ripping a water fountain out of a
That's-
wall is pretty
I
no,
mean,
Yeah.
but any
significant.
drunk college kid.
It's very Xavier of him.
That's
I
true.
was
A
not
bunch of
able to
Xavier
do-
basketball players did do that at Hinkle, so is it really impressive?
Right, like drunk college kids can muster up the strength to do that.
and supposedly Johnny Cash, according to Walk the Line,
Yeah, that's true.
he like pulls a bunch of sinks out of the wall in a bathroom.
All right.
That seems parodied in the Walk
And
Hard.
that came out in when 2005.
Yes, it was absolutely parodied in Walk Hard.
In the yeah,
Because what does he do again?
he just like he does the sink pulling, but he just like does it real quick, like one by one without looking kind of thing.
Yeah, he like he pulls every sink out and like the toilets out and stuff.
Yes,
Is that
Right.
Will Ferrell?
yes. No,
No.
no, it's
John C.
John C.
Reilly.
Riley.
Ah, okay.
It's
Like,
next one.
I have not seen it.
Tim Meadows. It's good. It's actually very good. You should watch it.
Yeah, Tim Meadows is like coke fueled like producer or something, right?
Yes. This is greed. You don't want any part of this. Yeah, I guess I don't want to get addicted. It's not addictive. Yeah, I don't want a hangover. It doesn't cause hangovers.
I will say one of the few things that a movie has ever changed from a book that actually worked was making Morgan Freeman's character in Shawshank Morgan Freeman.
Right, and just generally that script is fantastic.
Yes.
Most of its scripts. Some of them are a little heavy-handed, like
Yeah.
after seeing the movie 800 times, but
Right.
largely to adapt a novella into like a sprawling epic film
Yeah. What
Like,
the movie's what? Like 2
many years.
hours, 10 minutes.
Well, it's pretty long, but it's more long in scope than it is in like
That's true.
length. You know,
Yeah.
where it covers like 40 years or something like that. Yeah, it's a great movie, and Chris still hasn't seen it.
I still
somehow.
haven't seen Shawshank.
I haven't seen it either, obviously.
Please do yourselves a favor and watch it. It's so good.
God, Jordan, you haven't seen it either.
Yeah, it surprises me as much as it surprises you.
It's got to be someo's dad's favorite movie, right?
It's my dad's favorite movie.
I think it's
Well, there you
everyone's
go.
dad's favorite movie.
Yeah.
That or Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, or any of the first two Godfather movies.
I think Blade Runner might be up there for my dad. My dad has a weird taste
That's
in movies.
wow. That
Your
is a
dad's
weird
taste in
in
movies doesn't seem to line up with some of his personal philosophies.
Oh, no,
I'm not
it doesn't
going to
make any
lie.
sense.
Every single review or thing I've heard about Blade Runner makes me not want to watch it. Because it sounds like a movie that people are like, this was groundbreaking, but it's boring as fuck and stupid and makes no sense and there's no story.
Tim,
I'm like,
you would
okay,
100% just watch it and be like, this is just worst Ghost in the Shell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
Like- Go ahead, Chris.
just because I mean they're taking inspirations from the same places, doing the same things around the same time in similar ways.
Right, and of course, I mean, not quite the same. Like, Ghost in the Shell absolutely copped inspiration from Blade Runner. Like,
Yeah.
that's That's a definite. Even though Blade Runner also is like super yellow facey about stuff, but
yeah.
yeah, like everything I've heard about that movie is just like this is a boring movie that no one would like if it wasn't very groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, you watch. I feel like most of it's, and I mean, so many people would call me blasphemous for this because it's so revered in like movie snob circles. But I feel like it's
Nice.
it's fun to watch
Yeah.
for the aesthetic. You're just like, wow, this
That's
is a cool
yeah,
aesthetic.
that's
Like
what
very
I've heard,
interesting
more or less.
ideas and like world building and all that. But at the end of the day, you're like, what the fuck happened in this movie?
yeah, like what did anyone want me to take from this?
I'll stand up for it enough to say I didn't think it was particularly boring. I just thought it was exploring, like it helped birth cyberpunk as a genre. So it's just a lot of
Yeah.
like babies first exploring what it means to be
Right.
human in
Yeah.
an ever increasing technologically advanced world.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
like I will say,
unfortunately is so overdone now that
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
no longer plays like that great.
Yeah.
having not watched the movie either, everything I've heard about it makes me think it is like a masterpiece, or at least an extremely interesting movie to watch. So
I have heard nothing from anyone that would make me think it is a masterpiece.
Oh my god, that was gigantic bullshit.
I don't know.
It jumped away.
I'll watch out for the lasers.
It jumped away, and then I got popped by a bubble, and then immediately got popped by another bubble, and then got lasered immediately. And I literally got stun locked.
You got Wombo comboed, yeah. You got you. Well, Falco.
I saw him do his leap, and I immediately was jamming on the Y button to put my weapon away and start moving, and I just couldn't move.
Did
To be
you
fair,
wirefall?
also, though,
And I literally couldn't move because I
Yeah.
wasn't attacked to be wirefall.
Right. The wirefall doesn't activate on bubbles.
Yeah. That's upset. That's like the literal first time I was touched in this fight. I was doing really goddamn well.
Yeah.
yeah,
he's-
happen again.
He's absolutely one of the toughest monsters. He's probably the toughest monster in this rank, which is ironic since he's the Urgent for 6.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he's easily one of the toughest monsters in the entire game that we've fought so far. Because, unfortunately, the big bad guy that we're going to face, at the end of HR 6
Snaky.
is it's just going to be a rampage. Yeah, it's just going to be a rampage. So it's probably going to be relatively easy, like to walk through.
I will say I enjoyed Blade Runner 2049 more than the original Blade Runner.
I remember you saying you really enjoyed that when it came out.
Yes. I thought it had more to it and was like more like narratively engaging than the first one, but I will never ever see that movie in the theater ever again.
Well,
Because it's so loud.
Because yeah, it was deafening
Yeah.
and just like
I-
not enjoyable.
Unfortunately, that Denis
Villeneuve or something.
yeah,
Denny,
Villeneuve,
Mr. Dune.
Villeneuve.
Villanova. He was a close collaborator with Johan Johansson, and then they just decided, partway through Blade Runner's production, actually, no, we don't want Johan Johansson. We want someone who could copy what's his face's score,
Evangelist.
Vangelis. And so they're like, who could do that? How about Hans Zimmer?
Yeah.
How about the only composer?
Yeah. Who's made a living off of not writing his own music? Hans Zimmer.
I'm sure it was one of those scenarios. I mean, that one Hans Zimmer did so little on that he actually credited Benjamin alongside him, which means that it was 100% Benjamin Wallfish with like Hans Zimmer's stamp on it.
Yeah.
But that's just one of those annoying situations where it's like, oh, our composer is writing like original music for this. People won't like that, so let's fire him. And then we don't have enough time to do anything else, so we're just going to hire Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
We're going to spend the big bucks to hire the big man, and then we'll have a full score that'll be functional, and no one will care.
Yeah.
People only like bois nowadays.
There's probably not too many bois in that one since it's
No.
trying to emulate Vangelis so much.
But that's the
Just
issue.
a lot of
is
80s
that it
synth.
keeps going for those really high, really long and loud high notes on synthesizers,
Yeah.
and it just like it goes for because you know that movie is 90% establishing shots, so like it just
Yeah.
you know you're getting
Those
these
big,
cinematography,
big buzzy
wow.
synth patches.
Yeah, so you get great cinematography, and you're like, wow, this looks incredible. I just wish my ears were not bleeding. This
Not
is
allowed.
just- yeah, and
Big
like,
fan of bleeding ears, isn't he?
ugh.
Bleeding Ears is my death metal band.
Mhm.
Hans Zimmer
Nice.
does have a subsidiary group that's basically a music library called Bleeding Fingers. It could be called Bleeding Ears, though.
Yeah.
Does he also
That's what
own
it's
stock in the largest hearing aid company in the world?
That would make
Is that called Bleeding Fingers?
No, it's called Bleeding Edge, Bleeding Ears, Bleeding Technology.
That sounds incredibly
I kind
fake.
of doubt it.
Where are you?
Who?
The Mizu. I was very confused, but it worked out perfectly fine.
I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Bitch.
Hey, he's gonna be
Is
mountable.
2049 based on anything, or is it just like, what if we wrote a sequel to this Isaac Asimov story?
It's,
a
Where
Dick
are
story.
you going?
It's an original story, or well, original quote unquote. Basically, just trying to be a sequel to Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep.
That's weird.
Yeah, and that's Philip K. Dick, right?
Oh,
that's
right,
crazy,
it's
right?
Philip K. Dick. It's not Asimov. I was thinking
I
of
mean-
Robot.
Both major sci-fi writers. You were on the right track.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's his name? Asimov is the Foundation.
Yeah, I should
Yes.
read the Foundation trilogy.
I could also read the Foundation.
I've heard
trilogy.
it's like horrible about women, but like, hey, that's 70s sci-fi.
It's most.
I was gonna
That's
say
all
it's not
sci-fi
in a
for a long time.
nutshell.
like wanting it. It's not that bad.
And he like does actively try and improve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catch 22, horrible about it. Like half that book
Oh,
is
yeah.
50% scathing
Most of the way
satire
through
of
it
the
now.
American industrial complex, and 50% let's be like the male gaze of the book.
Yeah. I mean,
Just
there's-
one character named Innately's whore.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally the
Which is
only
probably a
thing.
joke, right?
Oh no, that's just what everyone calls it.
That's just what everyone calls her.
Oh,
Mhm. And then, I mean, I know Tim will never read it, so
No,
spoilers.
okay.
It's like the book literally ends with her trying to kill the main character, and that's
Well, I was gonna finish that probably tomorrow or Sunday.
Oh,
well,
I didn't know
You
you
should have
would've
said
that.
something.
I'm so sorry, Chris.
you literally didn't say something as he was in the middle of spoiling something.
I'm so sorry.
I kind of don't mind the ending around her. Honestly.
Let's not talk about it anymore because I don't want to spoil anything else.
I remember now. I was talking with Jordan earlier about how I was giving this book another go, but I believe Owen was not
okay.
there for that conversation, as is now apparent.
I apologize.
Nor-
yeah, I generally
nor was I.
assume, I generally assume anyone read that book for school.
Oh
in
no,
some capacity.
I could read it for school.
it's fine.
mean,
like that's
Owen-
like honestly, that's not like that. That will not change my experience with the ending of this book at all. I don't believe.
Okay,
That's good.
good because I feel bad
You
because I really enjoy that book mostly because his writing style is so absurd. But
It's like it is written as if it is like a comedy sketch.
yeah, and he also
so
has
bubble-blighted.
the world's longest sentences.
Yeah, yeah, which is why
am
it's taking
so
me so long
bubble-blighted,
to actually
Jesus.
finish it.
Yeah, I know. Because you have to I'll be reading it and I'll be like, did I actually comprehend anything? And I'll be like, oh yeah, this is the same sentence, half a page down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he is famous for his run-on sentences, which like makes sense in the context of the book, but like, you know, if you're just looking to get a nice quick read, that's not the best way to do it.
That would definitely fuck me up, considering how bad I am about keeping my place in a normal book.
Yeah, like apparently there is a Amazon Prime show of it coming at some
Yes.
point. So like you should probably watch that, because if it just takes like the dialogue exactly how it's written in scenes, it will be a very funny show, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's already out.
And that's already out.
Yeah, there's I think a Prime show that came out pretty recently.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember seeing commercials for it, but I don't watch anything on So
Same.
Let's cap it.
I don't have
Let's
Amazon.
cap it.
All right, yeah.
You guys fine with the cap?
Yes.
Yes.
Putting it. Wait. Okay, Chris. Maybe don't run 800 miles.
Well, it
across
was.
the wall.
Well, it's fucking. I'm in a bad spot. I'm water blighted. I was just trying to get away, and I got magneted to a fucking wall.
I just saw you running along a wall as it chased you the entire time. All right, here
Was not my
We're good.
expressed desire.
we
Ugh.
Maybe an orb will exist.
Maybe an orb will exist.
Shite. Fell from the air right before it ended.
Bad speedrunner.
quest complete.
So renting
Nor.